Closers get paid.
Hi, this is Mark Wilson with Closers Get Paid.
Closers get paid.
Today you're about to
Closers
embark
get paid.
on one of the greatest
Closers get
programs
paid.
I've ever created.
Closers get
Now, I didn't learn this all on my own. It took years of studying from some of the greatest trainers out there. A lot of it came from Anthony Robbins, and it really changed my life. And I took this knowledge and I made it my own. I put it into my own format. When I started out, I was living in a very, very small home off of McHenry in Modesto, California, about 800 square feet home. And by applying this information through this process you're about to learn, I went from flat broke to becoming a self-made millionaire and building the home, my dream home that you see in the picture down below, I call Closers Castle. So just think what you can do once you really start managing and mastering your time and getting the most out of every single day and staying completely emotionally and mentally connected to your ultimate purpose throughout the day. This program is going to give you the edge over any competition that you have out there. You're going to be able to walk into every situation knowing your outcome, having clarity, and getting the result that you're after. So pay close attention to each slide. I'm going to briefly describe each picture of each page, and then we're going to dive in deep to each page and show you how to apply every single one of these pages and put it into action. Remember, it doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you do with what you know. And this is based off of a formula I call the Master Success Formula in one of my other training videos, and now we put it into application. So you're going to be applying this knowledge on a yearly, monthly, weekly, staying connected, and daily basis. So let's get ready now and let's start the program. You should now have, by now, pages printed out that you can fill out or a booklet in front of you. Take notes, take time to go through it and go back and watch it again and again until you fully understand it and that you're actually applying it every single day, and watch the magic happen and watch the change take place in your lives. So let's go ahead now, let's get started with the program. So the first page is your yearly goals. I'm going to encourage you to capture your yearly goals, and this book is broken down into quarters. So every quarter you're going to reconnect to those yearly goals and adjust them and make sure that you're staying on target. You're not going to forget about what's most important in your life, and we're going to choose 4 areas: your faith, your family and friends, your finances, and your fitness. To me, those are the most important areas of my life. Now, if you want to change some of these areas, by all means do so. But this is what I am recommending, and this is what I will be walking you through in the Master Success Planner. Moving along will be the monthly Master Success Planner, where you reconnect to your yearly goals and you plan your month out in advance. I like to call it a kickoff, where you see your progress. At the bottom you'll notice that, and then you plan for your outstanding month. Moving on to the weekly Connect and Reflect. We're going to connect each and every week to the progress that we've achieved this last week, the week we just finished up with. We're going to celebrate. We're going to get juiced up, and then we're going to focus on the future. At the end of this week, what is it that we want to accomplish? What are our outcomes? And you're going to find out why it's so important, and you're going to find hidden energy and hidden motivation as you go through this planner, staying in tune and connected to your dreams, your desires, and your goals in life. And then your daily Master Success Planner. Each and every day, you're going to use this formula. You're going to capture everything and why it's so important to you. And I'm going to go into more detail on how to really utilize this. And each day you should have your top 3 ultimate outcomes, and I'm going to show you how to strategize so that you really peak out and get the result at a very high level. You'll also have a project planner. Anytime there's a whole bunch of stuff involved on one outcome, I consider it a project, and I'm going to show you how to go through a project and really get clarity on what's most important and get the result once again. You also have your capture page. This gives you more room each month when you're brainstorming, and each week, so you can capture more ideas and just let them flow out of your mind and get them down onto paper and take a better look at them later so they do not get left behind. As well as a journal. Capture all your magical moments each and every single day. And anytime you need a place to jot stuff down, you'll be able to do it here. Okay, getting into the very beginning, you're going to start with your yearly goals. This planner has been designed where you could pick it up any time throughout the year and start your year out. That's right. Why not plan your year out in the middle of July? Does it really matter? If you haven't set your goals or you've gotten away from them, sit down, take the time, and plan your life. Plan your year, the remaining balance of your year, get it on track. And then as you go through each quarter, you're going to reconnect and reflect on those goals and make sure that they're still important to you. And if you've achieved them, you're going to reset higher goals. And that's very important, because if you don't reset higher goals, you're going to plateau. And we don't want that to happen. So we're going to zoom in here and take a closer look at setting these goals up. If you notice at the top, the first area is faith, goes down to family, friends, finance, and so on. So you just capture all the things, that's the idea, is get it out of your mind and just dump it on paper. All the things you really want in your life. If you could have it the way you want it, really want it, without any limitations, what would you like your life to be like at the end of this year? So dump all those ideas down on paper in the slots as they pop up. And I wouldn't really worry about getting all the faith ones first. I would just grab every one that's coming to my mind and put them down where they belong. And after you've done that, then you're going to want to connect to it a higher purpose. Why are these goals so important to you? Reasons do come first, and if you're not emotionally connected to something you want, you're not going to move towards it for very long. That's the whole idea of this planner. Applying this information, application. It doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you're doing with what you know. Stay emotionally juiced to your outcome. Capture why this is so important to you. Really get clear on that. Clarity is power. And then any idea you can have on making it happen. If you've never done it before, that's fine, but maybe you can find someone that has, and that's on more in detail on the other pages is who. Who has done it? Who can show you how to get this outcome? That's the fastest way to achieving anything, is find out who, and capture all the action items you can think of, even if it's picking the phone up, making phone calls, taking notes, listening to a program, starting your day off in the right direction, whatever it may be. Capture all those ideas, dump them down. And then on the right side, finally, you're going to see where it says, by when. By when will you have this accomplished this year? Will you have it done by the middle of the year or just at the end of the year? And that's fine. But put a deadline, because deadlines are so important. Subconsciously, it gets you to take action. It nudges you. It keeps you moving towards your outcome, your goals. When you have deadlines, there's something very magical and very powerful about setting these deadlines. So make sure you decide when it's going to happen. Make a decision. When is this going to happen? By when? Will this be a reality in my life? And as we move down to the bottom, you're going to grab your top goal in each area. Okay, so from family, your top 3 goals, each area, family, faith, finance, and fitness. I want you to go back and circle the ones, if you could only have 3 of those, which would they be? And take some time to do this. Circle those 3 so you get connected, and then put them in the order of importance. Which's the most important one? Put it down first. This is the most important above all. If you could only have one of these 3, put it in order. This is the priority one. In my family and friends, this is second and third priority. It may be very difficult to do, but do your best. Make sure that you just do it and you do your best. And moving on to the monthly success planner, reconnect to my yearly goals. This page is so important. When you set those goals, you want to make sure you revisit them. That's the key to application and staying connected, is by revisiting those goals of yours. I promise you, if you'll do this, you'll get so much further ahead than anybody you may be in competition with, anybody living on your street, anybody in your life. You're going to make quantum leaps by staying connected and reflecting on your goals and your dreams in life and not letting them fade away and disappear. Whatever you give energy to grows, so you want to make sure you're giving enough energy to your goals. We're going to get a closer look here as we move and zoom in. If you notice there's a month there, put the month down when you first pick it up, and each month, just jot the month, January, February, whatever month it may be, and then there's a blank calendar. That's for you to fill out. Remember, you could pick this up at any time, so it's not locked into a certain year. I've gone down to try and buy day timers in the past, and there's certain times of the year you can't even get them. They're not made yet. So you don't ever have to worry about that with this planner. You can use it for every year, any year. Simply just pull your phone out and look at your calendar And if this is June, look at the very first Sunday of June and put that day down, the 5th. And then move down to the next, is how I use it, and go down to the next week and put that day down, and so on. So you can actually know what days are without filling out the whole calendar. This saves you so much time. You'll know if the first Sunday's the 5th, then obviously Monday's the 6th, right? So it's very simple to use and very effective. Now, if you go down below that, you're going to see family, friends, faith, finance, and fitness. Each month, just reset your goals, reassess them, make sure that they're still valid and important to you in your life. Maybe you've already accomplished them, and now you just simply need to reset those goals so you keep the momentum going and you don't go backwards. So make sure you do a mini goal setting right here. And then, what's my outcome in each one of these? Why is this a must? How can I make this happen? When this month am I going to achieve this goal or do these things? Who, once again, can get me there the fastest? Who can I talk to? Who can I call? Who can I study from? And then you're going to want to make sure you check off your results. And I like to make sure that I either complete it, so I'll check it off, I'll delete it because this really wasn't that important to me, or I will move it and make sure that I bring it forward to the next month. And at the bottom is the progress for every single month. I call it kickoff in my life. I want to reflect each month on all the things I've accomplished so I can really soak it in and feel really good about it and feel successful. I want to feel that feeling of success. And I need to go back to those achievements and really soak them in. And it's such a wonderful thing to do. It really makes your life have meaning. And so you're really just capturing your progress throughout each month of the year, which is really cool to go back and look on at a later date to really see what you've done with your life this year. So moving on to connect and reflect every single week. Once again, you've got your calendar in the top. And this is real important because I feel like a lot of people don't start off with the end in mind. What are you going to accomplish by the end of this week? You need to plan it out. I was told, I read somewhere that every 10 minutes you spend thinking and planning, you save hours, if not days, of effort. Really plan your week out. Own your time. You don't get any more time. We all get the same amount of time, and very few people are really getting ahead. And that's what we want to do, is use our time so we can really get ahead. I like to do this on Sunday evening, really connect to my week in the past and really focus on the week coming forward. What do I want to accomplish this week? What are all my outcomes? So as you capture the week, just dump everything out of your mind and get it down on this sheet right here. What's my outcome? What are my outcomes this week? And just grab them, okay? Just as they flow, let them flow. Why is this a must to me? Get connected to each one of them. Go back and revisit and really get juiced up and see it as if it's already happening in your life. And then, how can I make this happen? When will this happen this week? Schedule it. If it's not scheduled, it's not going to happen. You've got to schedule it. You got to plan your day and work your plan. Once again, who? I really want to emphasize who. Just put their initials down there if you don't have room. Who can get me there the fastest? Who can show me? Who can help me? Who's been there? Don't just ask anybody. You wouldn't ask your neighbor if you needed brain surgery and he's an electrician, what he thinks about when it comes to surgery on your brain. You'd get a specialist, somebody that's got a track record. You'd find the very best in the world. And that's what you need to do with your life and your goals and your dreams. They should be that important to you. And then your results on the far right. You're going to want to make sure each week we're checking these off. Completed, we're deleting them, or we're moving them and not letting them get left behind or forgotten about. And at the bottom is the progress from the week prior. Bring all that into the bottom of this and enjoy your success. Write it down, capture it. You'll be able to look back at it throughout the year and at the end of the year. Wow, what happened to you? How did you become so successful? Well, you know what? Actually, I just started to really own my time, and I used this master success formula to really get results I wanted on a weekly and daily basis. And I connected each month to my year. And it was phenomenal. The results were unbelievable. So track your progress. Notice what's working. If you've accomplished one of these goals, make sure that you're aware of it and you reset it so you don't go idle and you don't start going backwards. Your daily master success planner. This is where you're going to spend most of your planning. Really keeping the momentum and connection going is on a daily basis. And if you break from this, as soon as you realize it, get right back to it. Don't waste any time. Get right back into this program. The calendar should have some stuff planned out for this week. I know it's coming up, so I don't forget about it. And I could jump ahead on Sunday and I can move it to the right day and put it in there in advance. So as Tuesday gets here or Wednesday, whatever day this project or this meeting needs to take place, I'm rolling right into it. And that's how you want to use this week planner. You want to flip to that day of the week, jot down what needs to happen, put it in there, schedule it, set it, forget it, and get your mind off of it until moments before that day comes or that time comes, and then you're going to use this planner to really get your mind around what your ultimate outcome is in the moment. Now, this is a day planner, but you should be using this as a moment planner as you transition into a meeting. You need to walk in with clarity, knowing your outcome, right? And being very resourceful and flexible to make sure that you stay on track and you're not distracted and you just show up and you go through the motion and you walk out of there and there's been no result. Think about that. How can you build this momentum throughout your day? And that's really what this is about, is taking this into your day. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just dump all the thoughts in your head. What's my outcomes today? What do I need to accomplish? What do I want to accomplish? What would I like to accomplish? Okay, in all areas, just dump. And over to the right is, why is this a must? See, to-do lists, you just dump everything down and you have no real emotional connection. But this one simple piece, the why is this a must, really changes the game. It really gets you connected. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm training a manager and I put down train manager and I don't put down why. And I just show up and kind of go through training. But when I put why, if I really reflect and think about why is this such an important event or training, what's the ultimate purpose for this? Could it be that if I don't get this dialed in, I'm going to lose people? Could it be that this is costing me too much money not to get this right? Could it be that this person's going to be the next manager in a new location, and if I don't get it dialed in now, it's never going to happen? Why is this such a must? Why is this so important? The more importance I put on it, the more I show up and the more I deliver. So go through that list. Now, if you notice to the right of it is a time clock. So if this meeting's at 10:30 today, boom, I put the time down real quick. And then on the right of that are the 1, 2, 3s. These are just orders of importance. So when you're dumping things down, maybe it's not that important to go pick up your shoes or a new pair of shoes or your clothes from the dry cleaning, right? You need to do it, but it's not that important. It's a distraction. You can have somebody else do that. What's important is the results that you need to get today to make those goals that you have in this planner a reality. That's what's important. Listen, I learned a lot of this over the years, and I started listening to programs. And one of the programs I was listening to early on by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, I believe it was Think and Grow Rich, and he was talking to the great Carnegie, the richest man in the world, and asking for secrets to success. And one of his secrets was every night before he went to bed, he'd make this list. He'd make his list down, and then he'd tell his subconscious mind to go to work on it. And a lot of the things he was working on, problems he had and issues, he had the answers to when he woke up. But what he did was he took this list and he deleted all the things that weren't that important, right? He realized that's not that important. And he went to work immediately on the most important ones first. Think about the richest man in the world's advice. What if you changed the way you're planning your day out? Maybe you're not planning it at all. You're going along with somebody else's plan. But imagine following the advice, the simple advice from the richest man in the world. What kind of change would that make over the next 30, 60, 90 days, over the next 6 months, 12 months, the course of your life? What would change? How much would that benefit you? Really get connected to why this is so important. So you follow through and you make this a pattern in your life every single day. If you'll do this, you'll just show up no matter where you're at without pulling your book out. Outcome oriented, you'll know why you're there, what your ultimate outcome is, and you will be resourceful and you will get a very powerful result, a result beyond average. And that's really what it's about. And on the left, you'll see where the R is. So each day, at the end of the day, What is your results? I'll check it off as completed. I'll put an arrow to move it, and I'll put an X to delete it. You know, this wasn't that important. And then I move the arrow over to the following day or a following day within the week where it needs to be handled. Say a meeting got rescheduled. I'll just move it up to that time. Okay, hopefully this is making some sense. I'm sure it is. Now here's at the bottom. This is something really powerful. Psychology first. I would say psychology first. You're going to run into distractions. You're going to run into challenges, setbacks. All kinds of things are going to happen. And whatever meaning you're attaching to it could really be devastating to your success if you're not careful at analyzing how you're feeling and what you're thinking about. So let's say you have a meeting and somebody's wasted your time in that meeting, and you start to think, well, that's just a waste of time going to these meetings or dealing with this person or talking to these people. I'm not getting anywhere. Well, and then you start to notice you don't feel that great. Well, if you notice you're not feeling good because your emotions are your guiding system, they're going to let you know if you're in the right state or not to perform at the level you want to be at. Anytime you notice you're off your game, take a minute, take a breather, and run through these questions. I literally won't let my guys call me until they've gone through these questions when they have challenges, because they'll learn to solve their own challenges. They will turn themselves around quickly. They'll get themselves, when they're knocked off track, right back on track and in the game again, and learning from a situation that was making them very negative or unresourceful, and where they felt like giving up or not even trying at all. So run through these questions and notice how it's turning your mindset around. You grab control of your focus, your thoughts. The only thing in the world you have complete control over is your mind, and this will give you the mindset to really push through and get the result that you want on your Master Success Planner. These will keep you mentally in the right frame of mind, having a superior psychology. Make sure you use these anytime you notice you're having challenges. Make a commitment, a decision. You're going to look at the bottom of that page before you get knocked off out of your game. On our next page is the top 3. So each day when we set our agenda for the goals that we have, what are the top 3 most important ones? That at the end of the day, if all I did was get these three outcomes, my day would be a massive success. So here we go. So I moved over from the left page. As I grab the top one. If I can only get this one, what's the number 1? I move it over. What's that outcome? I write it down. Why is this a must to me? Get really, really deeply connected. How can I make this happen? I just dump every idea I can think of. Any idea, the simplest thing, I don't care what it is, I just brainstorm and get those ideas down, right? Then when today is this going to happen? When am I going to make this happen? Is this a 10:30 meeting? Is this an 11:30 meeting? Is this a 12 o'clock? When is this going to happen? Schedule it. Once again, if it's not scheduled, won't happen. And who can I leverage this to? Leveraging is powerful. If you could get your people to get these outcomes, get somebody else to get the outcome for you, you're going to grow massively. It's unbelievable how much more money you could earn when you get other people getting a result for you, but they got to get the outcome that you have intended, not just pass over the responsibility and pass over the workload to somebody else. I see that way too often. When you give somebody a task, you want to make sure it's very clear they walk through this with you. They understand what it is and why it's so important and all the different action items. And how I know they know it is if they repeat it all back to me. So now when you're leveraging, you're able to have 10, 20, 40 people or more getting the results that you could only gotten one of those results at a time, but you can have 10 people, 100 people getting those results all at the same time. It's so powerful. The only way to really make money is money at work and people at work. And if your people are using this system, you are going to get massive results by leveraging effectively. It's really about massive results. And then rate your results on a 1 to 10. Is a 10 being the absolute peak performing? We got the result we wanted, and put it down. We did this at a 5 today. Well, wait a minute, a 5? I need to be at an 8 or above in everything that I'm doing if I'm going to be ultimately successful. A 5 is not acceptable. We have to be at an 8 or above on this result, or I got to go back and reflect and not point the finger if I leverage somebody, because when I point it at them, there's 3 fingers pointing right back at me. It's my fault for not being clear, not inspecting what I expect. And if you'll do this in all 3 of those areas, you may be the person that's doing it. You may not be leveraging. That's fine. But if you are leveraging, make sure it's clear. Too often, we find ourselves explaining things or asking others to do things only to find out they weren't clear on it. They did something for you and they worked their butts off and they got a result, but the result doesn't even matter because it's not what you needed. And that was just simply a waste of time. Clarity is power. And then you'll have your project planner. This is for projects. You're going to have projects like if you're creating a new PowerPoint and it needs to have a video and it needs to have scripts written. That's a project. That's more than one thing that needs to be focused on. So sit down with your team if you have to, or just yourself, and capture all the outcomes for this one specific project. What are all these outcomes? What's my outcome? What is it? And then as you write it down, you're going to move back down into the first outcome, second outcome, third outcome. Grab the top three. If you can only get 3 out of that, what would those top 3 be? And run through this portion once again that we just went over. Outcome, why, how, when, who, and then the result. And you will see massive, massive gain. You will get results beyond belief. Utilize this in your personal life. Utilize this in your family life. Utilize this in every area of your life, and you will be able to take massive quantum leaps of success beyond belief. Listen, this is Mark Wilson. This is how I manage my time. This is how I built the #1 office for security, and this will do the same for you. I have no doubt, as long as you make this your method of focusing each and every day to your success. This will give you the ability beyond belief, and I look forward to hearing about how much it's really helped you. Remember, it's not what you know, it's what you do with what you know. And remember, closers get paid.
Closers get paid. Closers get paid. Closers get paid. Closers get paid. Closers get paid.